sorry, kiddo, I really am. You have a good soul. And I hate giving good people bad news.
He's Tony, I'm Mike. Today, we are reviewing 1973's Sex and Fury.
翔さん、あなたは very nice のギャンブラーです。あんたも最高のバクチ打ちだよ。
Now, this is kind of a follow-up video because we did Thriller, and this stars Christina Lundy.
Yep.
And then it also stars...
I gotta put my cheaters on here because I'm getting old, fellas. Reiko Iki as Ocho.
Yeah, there you go. And this is apparently a series of films.
Yeah, so the same year, there was another movie released called Female Yakuza Tale, Acquisition and Torture. So so this series, I don't know how many.
Yeah.
But
now this was produced by Toei, who's famous for doing all the Godzilla films. And a bunch of other stuff. And this is
Godzilla's
also
Toho.
Oh, is it Toho?
Godzilla's Toho.
I'm sorry, what's Toei?
Toei probably does Gamera or some shit like that.
That knockoff shit,
Yeah.
Ultraman.
Fucking turtle.
Toei owns the Japanese rights to Spider-Man. They do One Piece. They also do Super Sentai.
Okay, there you go.
So
So,
Power Rangers.
Super hentai? All right, fair enough. Now, I'm going to say this is a 1973. It's a pink movie, which a pink movie is actually sexually explicit, but with very strict rules because Japan only allows certain things to not be pixelated.
Yes. Before we get deep into that, let's quickly cruise through the setup here. So we got in the very opening shot, we have a older gentleman and a younger girl walking through this alleyway. The older gentleman gets murdered. The young girl gets away. Then later, we see Ocho in this gambling den, and one of the guys gets caught cheating.
Yes.
Well,
not really. He gets caught cheating, but he was instructed by his, underworld boss to cheat.
Right.
So,
but either way, he still gets caught cheating.
Yes.
Regardless. So a melee ensues, and then as the guy's dying, Ocho goes over to him and he's like, "Hey, I got this sister in the city. Here's money to buy her back because she's how would you describe it?
she is going to be sold into prostitution.
Yes.
There's a debt of like 500 yen, something like that. He has that money set aside in a bank account specifically for her. He just has to travel to her to get it to her before she's sold into prostitution.
これを東京にいる妹のユキに渡してやってくれ。ユキさん。で、渡してやらないと500円で女郎に振られちまうんで。
He tells Ocho exactly where to go, what his sister's name is, what part of Edo, Tokyo, that she's in, what area. And
basically, so she Ocho keeps her word and goes try to help the sister out.
Yeah.
And from there, shenanigans ensue.
And this is during the Meiji period, which is like the late 1800s, early 1900s, where they're trying to westernize Japan and basically, be on the same stage as the other world powers.
Yeah, I think the movie takes place, I think it's like 1905.
1905, yeah. It's like 1880 something, and then it jumps to 1905 during the beginning. But then there is so there's intrigue with that. There is basically these Yakuza bosses that have become political, and now they are attempting to squash any dissenting voices that are trying to stop them from rising to power.
黒川先生、いよいよ精神科医の天下が参りましたな。世界の大東国を目指すのは日本の将来は先生の双剣にかかっていると申しても過言ではございませんぞ。
Now, when the dad is killed at the beginning, he leaves a clue as to who murdered him by selecting 3 tiles or cards. It's a boar, a butterfly, and a deer, or a stag. And so he leaves them, but nobody can actually figure out what the hell that was really about. His daughter, Ocho.
Also, it's important to note that he was a detective.
Yes, he was a detective. And Ocho, who is basically now an orphan, more on that later.
Yeah. So she was basically raised by street prostitutes and stuff like that. They have their own kind of little gang thing going on there, where they take in young orphans and teach them how to grift. And
pickpocket,
pickpockets and all that manner of things.
あんた一体どこまで間が抜けてんだろうね、本当にもう。
なんで？
この子は今日うち入った新人じゃないか。
あら。
身内で取ったり取られたりしてるとお前もの食い上げだよ。
All this is told against this huge backdrop of political intrigue, and Christina Lindberg's a British spy whose specialty is sex, gambling, and shooting.
And she's an expert marksman.
Yes.
Ocho, as she goes through the course of trying to help out that girl, stumbles upon all this stuff. Stumbles upon the
finds out that he has the deer tattoo, and that's actually was the clue that was left behind, and that because of he, basically takes advantage of Yuki, who is the girl that Ocho helps.
Yeah.
Because Yuki is taken advantage of, she figures out that, okay, this is the clue. This is what my dad was trying to let us know, who's responsible for his murder.
Yeah, he's the linchpin of the whole story. Everything really revolves around that one guy, because he is the one that owns the title to Yuki. Is that her name is?
Yes.
So, and then is also the mob boss trying to rise to power, who is also under investigation by this British intelligence trying to take him down. So that's how this all kind of works together. And then the anarchist, he's trying to take down also those Yakuza guys.
Yes.
I know what you must get done. It's Kurokara's life, isn't it?
And then it's also revealed later that Christina and the anarchist have fallen in love.
Yes.
Because they met somewhere in London. And then so she joins the service, British Secret Service, just so she can go to London and meet up with that guy again.
But why are you here in Japan?
I wanted to see you once again. Please, Shunosuke. We can start again. I love you so very much.
Now, just so you know, this movie is far better. Our summation of the plot of this film is far better than this film.
No, I'm going to disagree with you. I think this is a fun and a really good and engaging movie. And the funny thing too is this: while it says sex and fury, and yes, there is nudity, it's not overly graphic. Like even like the scenes of assault are not super graphic. Like yes, you can see that they're interpreting assault.
Yeah,
but like
they're trying to show it without being gratuitous.
Right.
It,
As a matter of fact, the only real gratuitous part of this, so there's 2 parts, and the one is the first sword fight scene with Ocho, which really you see like one nipple here and there, and then her butt, and that's really about it. they actually choreographed that really well to where you really only see a little bit of the nudity here and there.
Yeah, because they attack her when she's taking a bath.
Yeah.
And she's completely unarmed and naked, and I guess they assume that she's not going to be able to fight back. But not only does she fight back, but she kills them all. So,
and then the other gratuitous scene is where Christina is whipping Ocho.
Yes.
After Ocho gets caught. I think this movie is really well done. The story is really well done. The action is really well done. And I mean, it could always be better, but I mean, for what it is for 1973, I think it's pretty damn cool.
For what it is, it is far better than the sum of its parts. It is far bigger than its budget. It's far bigger than everything else. So yeah, you're absolutely right. It is well written. My biggest problem with this is honestly the soundtrack. The music is horrible. It's like you have this big action scene going on and then elevator music playing in the background. And it's not like done tongue in cheek. It's like, just fixing that would amp up the tension. But because it's so far removed from what you're seeing visually, it's really distracting. It's off-putting. It really throws the pace enough because, yes, all the fight scenes are really well done. They're really well put together. The story itself, I really like. Christina Lundy's character, I really like. The poker game between the two of them is superbly handled. And that could have been, like, in the hands of a lesser editor and director, that could have been as boring as watching paint dry. But it actually builds tension, and you actually see, like, there's this rivalry. But then you also see that when Christina Lundy's former lover shows up.
Lindberg, by the way.
Oh, Lindberg, I'm sorry. She's distracted by that, and it throws her off her game, so she winds up losing this game, which is why Ocho is able to actually get Yuki back and win Yuki and her freedom. So I loved all of that. All of the plot points I genuinely adored. You could take this script, this idea. Hell, you could take this cast. Not now, because they're probably mostly dead or really old. But this is a film that's like dying for a remake because it is an adult story for adults, told in an adult way. But like I said, the big holdback for me is like you have this really involved mystery that's actually it's resolved in a really interesting and astonishing way. And then you find out that like the butterfly is actually Ocho's mother who abandoned her because she didn't want to be married to a cop. She had Yakuza love interest going on behind the scene.
Ocho, あのメスがおめえのお袋だ。貧乏経理の情にほだされて所帯を持つ前から。
There is good stuff here. There is a lot of good stuff here. I'm not like condemning this film. I'm just saying, when I was watching it, like every time that the elevator music came on during a fight scene, I was just kind of like, the hell is this?
That sucks. That's very unfortunate. I didn't notice it near as much. I was too busy reading most of the time. And then when the action did come and stuff like that, really enjoying that. All the characters are great. Everybody has their moment to shine in it. I really don't have anything really bad to say about this movie. I enjoyed every aspect of it.
Yeah.
And again, I didn't notice the music, so I can't even knock off points for that. I really want to watch the sequel to this.
I'm okay with that. I mean, I'm happy to watch the sequel to this. I'm just gonna say, like, for me, I was expecting this to be a Lady Snowblood. That vein of it, because I think Lady Snowblood is a spectacularly good movie by any measure. I don't care, subtitled, whatever.
Sure.
It's just it's a great revenge film, and this has all the makings of a movie that good. But like I said, if somebody would just rescore this, it could be spectacular.
Yeah.
But it's just that bad elevator music. He'll throw a clip of the music right here so you could see what I'm talking about. And you tell me, if you were choreographing a fight scene, is this the music you would use?
One other thing I want to note is when I was watching this, I can almost see why they cast Christine Lindberg, because she looks a lot like what an anime person would draw a Western girl to look like.
Yeah.
Like the big eyes and the real kind of narrow shape and the small chin, but yet still the kind of the lips.
Yeah. And a very un-Asian nose.
Yes.
So I mean, she most definitely stands out against the backdrop of all these really attractive, you know, Japanese women.
Am I off on that assessment, or what do you think?
At that time with anime, that's almost exactly how they would depict a Westerner. Nowadays, they all look the same, with the only difference being this person is American. How do you know? Blonde hair, blue eyes. This person's British. How do you know? Blonde hair, green eyes.
Ooh.
That's usually the biggest tell nowadays.
Oh, fair enough. I'm gonna say this. Actually, I like this better than Lady Snowblood. They're close, but I think the story in this one is more complex.
Yes.
and better told.
Absolutely. And there's a lot of information that is delivered really visually, really succinctly, and so I don't hate this movie. I don't dislike this movie. It's just I see that there was potential for greatness here, and then it just wound up in good. You know, I mean, I already bought it, so I mean, it's already in the collection.
But prior to this, would it be a buy for you now?
Probably not. This would have been a rent for me if I had seen it before this. But you know what? I was gonna say I would rather support the companies that are putting out these little hidden gems than not. So yeah.
Is it still a recommend?
It is still a recommend. I absolutely would recommend watching this one. It is an engaging watch. It's an interesting mystery.
Yeah, it really is. And unfortunately, we gave away all the good details. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah,
but I kind of wish we didn't now, but you know, it is what it is.
You can't show some of the fight scenes, but the fight scenes you can show, they're solid. They hold up. So, yeah, no, I would absolutely recommend this, but I don't know that I would run out and buy it again, but I already bought it, so we're good.
Right. Absolute recommend for me. If you're a fan of this type of movie, absolutely buy it. We will review the sequel to this, and that's all I got.
Well, we will catch you next time.